everyone. This is Paige from Traditional Catholic Femininity. Speaking to you all the way from England. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, wherever you are. So today's topic, it's not an Ask page, but it is inspired by something I posted on my Facebook page. And sometimes I post a little bit of funny things, but there is some truth in what I post, right? So I kind of use humor a lot to kind of teach important concepts. So not too long ago, this week in fact, I posted on my Facebook page. If you are not following me on Facebook, you should be following me. And my post said, imagine being a man over 30 years old and still saying you have a girlfriend. How immature and embarrassing for you. Grow up. And it was really interesting to see the comments because a lot of people didn't get it. They didn't get it. They thought it was actually okay to be calling somebody your boyfriend, girlfriend. Oh my goodness. So I decided to make a video post. So I can explain this further. Why you should never ever call a guy your boyfriend. And don't let him call your girlfriend either. What are you, 12? First of all, if you're 12, you shouldn't be courting. Anyway, courtship is for marriage. So the word girlfriend, as traditional Catholics, we don't date. Period. That means we don't use words like boyfriend or girlfriend. So when you say the word boyfriend and girlfriend, you're actually referring to like modern day liberal ways of dating. And the problem with a lot of traditional Catholics or people who want traditional relationships is that they still have all this modernisms, modern terms, modern concepts and what have you apply to dating. So they still live together. They do things like living together, sex before marriage, and using terms like boyfriend, girlfriend. Never ever call a guy your boyfriend that you're dating, ever. And don't allow him to call you his girlfriend either. I mean, just cringe and visibly wretch if he does that. Well, here is why you should not you should never take that term boyfriend or girlfriend. I've never called a guy my boyfriend. I dated about I think 3 people before I met my husband. Like properly dating that went beyond 1 to 2 dates. And I never ever called them my boyfriend, girlfriend, and I never allowed them to call. Don't call me your boyfriend. Don't call me your girlfriend. Don't do that. I wouldn't even introduce them to my very close family or like officially introduce them to my parents. Ew. I didn't do that. My friends, yes, because sometimes I wanted feedback from my friends, but I didn't introduce them to my family because. First of all, you should know that I'm a black woman. I'm British, but I'm a black woman, so I do have like influences from my African culture on me, and in African culture, as it is in many traditional cultures today, in Asia, China, Japan, Africa, India, basically most cultures outside the Western world, the whole boyfriend girlfriend thing doesn't exist. You don't bring somebody home to the family or introduce them officially in the family unless it's actually serious, i.e. they now have intent to marry you. So if you're seeing someone and it's not really serious, you kind of keep it on the hush hush, and you definitely don't give them a label. Even in the Bible, there is no term for the word boyfriend girlfriend, because those relationships they're not seen as serious, they're not seen as legitimate. So it's really kind of embarrassing, and I really cringe when I see people, oh, I just met my boyfriend, and they've just been dating for like 2 days or a week, and there's no ring on her finger. She's like posting him all over Facebook and social media and pictures. You just, ew, don't do that. Don't do that, because you're now giving him public status as a partner that he hasn't earned. He hasn't earned. If he wants to claim you publicly, he needs to put a ring on your finger. You should never ever call a guy your boyfriend or girlfriend. Oh, but Paige, what do I refer to them as? Okay, so you're dating a guy and he hasn't proposed yet, and it's not yet a year, because if he hasn't proposed by a year, within a year, just get rid of him. You know, we don't date men for like years and years, because at that point you're like a common law wife. You're like it's just so disrespectful, and it's really, really embarrassing, and it kind of gives all sorts of negative connotations to the public. Oh, look, she's with somebody who doesn't even see her as worthy enough to marry. So don't give him the label. He needs to earn that label. Oh, but he doesn't want other people to come and take me off him. Well, then propose to her then. Oh, he doesn't want any other man to kind of not see that I'm not taken. Well, technically you are not taken. If he wants you to be taken and he wants other men to back off, he needs to put a ring. He needs to be betrothed. That is literally what an engagement is supposed to do. It says, okay, I've decided this is the one I'm going to marry. She's off the market. Dating doesn't take you off the market, just so you know. Dating doesn't take you off the market. A ring on the finger, an engagement ring, which is like a promise, or a betrothal, like a promise to marry, takes you off the market. And then the wedding ring takes you completely off the market. So it's like the engagement ring or the betrothal is like okay, so I'm going off the market now, and I'm thinking of making this permanent, but you still have a chance to kind of back out of it in case you don't want to marry the person. It's kind of like in religious life in the Catholic Church, you have the first vows and then you have the final vows, right? So it is kind of like that. But when the woman is still in the process of discernment and she hasn't joined an order yet, she's not considered a nun or a sister. Of course not. So because she hasn't made any official public claim, or they haven't made an official public claim to her yet. So why would you let a human being, another man, do that to you? So no, don't call him a boyfriend, and tell him not to call you his girlfriend. If he does call you his girlfriend, just say, no, I'm not his girlfriend. We're just good friends. That's enough. And don't do anything lovey-dovey like kissing and pawing all over each other in public in front of other people. That's embarrassing and disgusting and gross, and it gives people the impression that you're having premarital sex. So don't do that. Can hold hands, but no kissing or any of that. So you're probably asking me, what did you call the men you were dating before you were engaged to them? I just refer to them as, this is John, my good friend. That's it. I never ever said, this is my boyfriend. And I started dating quite late. I started dating when I was 21, 22. I know that's a bit old, because people are like 14 and they're like, oh, they're going on dates. Ugh. Don't do that. Don't date unless you are ready to be married within like a year, 2 years. So even back then, even though I didn't know much about traditional Catholicism, my culture, because of the culture I came from, we took courtship very, very seriously, just like traditional Catholicism does, just like the Bible does. So we never dated in school, never ever. We're not allowed to date in school. And I had no interest in dating in school because I knew how serious it was going to be, and I didn't want, to be giving myself away that early. So my very first so-called boyfriend, he actually became my fiance, was when I was 22. And before we became betrothed, before we became engaged, I would just introduce him as, this is John. That's not his name anyway. I said, oh, this is John. He's my very good friend. And people just kind of guessed that we were sort of like an item, going to be like an item. But I didn't post him everywhere on Facebook or social media or signing I didn't do any of that. He had to earn that. So if you're serious about wanting to get married quickly, because when a man finds a woman that he really likes and he's thinking, I want her, men are territorial, right? So they don't want other men looking at, touching at, or having access to what they consider is theirs. And if he loves you, he thinks you belong to him. But does he love you enough? If he does, he will put a ring on your finger. So if you want to speed up getting married, if you want to speed up getting engaged and getting married, don't give a man so-called boyfriend, don't give him husband benefits. And that includes no cooking for him, no cleaning for him, no sex, none of that stuff. Don't even give him like the public title, public status. Oh, this is my boyfriend. What are you doing? Don't do that. And if he wants it, he needs to earn it. He needs to put a ring on your finger. If he asks, just say, I can't. It's just a bit embarrassing for me to call you that. I'd rather just wait until like we are properly, officially engaged and then I'm properly off the market. That would make a guy want to lock you down really quickly because he doesn't want anybody else to access you. So that is a good tip. Now, obviously, because you're engaged doesn't mean that you have to marry them. I was engaged 3 times before I got married. Yeah, I know it sounds like a lot, but those men were pretty serious about me because they saw that I took myself seriously. I respected myself. I wasn't going to just live with any of them, and I never lived with any guy that wasn't either my father or my husband. Never lived with a guy. So don't live with a guy. Don't give him public title. If he wants the honor of being known as your man, my man, then he needs to put a ring on your finger. He needs to make you his fiance and then his wife. And that will not happen if there isn't some sort of subtle pressure on him. So, and don't live with him. Don't do his laundry. Don't cook for him. Don't do any of the. Treat him like a good friend. Oh, this is my good friend, John. Oh, he's just a friend, Peter. That's it. Let him feel embarrassed that you're just introducing him as a friend. And if he really cares about you, he loves you, he'll be like, no, I don't like the sound of that. I need to make her mine. I need to, put a ring on it. As Beyonce said, if he liked it, then he would have put a ring on it, right? So a lot of women complain today that men don't want to commit, but because you're doing all the stuff that makes him not want to come in. You're just giving him access to all the benefits, not just even sexual benefits of like cooking for him and doing his laundry and cleaning his house for him and living with him. You're even giving him social status that he doesn't have, that he doesn't earn. A pseudo boyfriend, a pseudo husband, by calling him my boyfriend and putting his picture on your social media. The only time you should put a picture of both yourself, like as an official couple, on social media is when he's put an engagement ring on your finger, and then you formally present yourself to the public as a couple. That's how it was done traditionally, and that's how it was done traditionally in the church way back, and also biblically when a couple were betrothed to each other. And that's how it's done in many traditional cultures even today. So my platform is called Traditional Catholic Femininity, and it's all about traditional Catholicism, traditional values, traditional conservative values, traditional feminine energy. So if you want to adopt that and you want to live that lifestyle and you want to have that happy, trad, beautiful, wonderful life, because being a trad life is amazing. I gotta tell you. But if you can't have any of that if you're still going to be applying modern day mindsets, concepts, terms, and what have you to the things that you do and to the way you approach relationships and dating and all of that stuff. And even if he is not trad, because I dated a guy before I got married. I dated a guy who wasn't exactly trad, but he still got it. Men no. One of the guys that I dated and I was engaged to, he still got the fact that, no, sorry, I'm not calling you my boyfriend. That's hilarious. That's quite embarrassing. I'm not calling you my boyfriend. And a few months later, he proposed. Now, the only reason why there are many reasons why I didn't marry the guys that I was engaged to before, and one of them wanted to live abroad, and then after I thought about it, I said, no, I don't want to leave my family. I want to stay here in England. And so that relationship kind of fell apart because we had different goals, long-term goals, and that's okay. Not every relationship will lead to an engagement. Not every relationship, which is why you should be calling them my boyfriend, my girlfriend, because it's kind of embarrassing. Because then people would now be counting, oh my God, how many boyfriends has she had? She's had 20, and it sounds really, really bad, doesn't it? It sounds like you're some kind of whore, like from one man to the several men. And they will assume that you have a very high bed count. So don't do that. Don't call him my boyfriend. But fiance, that sounds a whole lot better than boyfriend, doesn't it? Immediately people give you some level of respect. They respect you, they respect him, and they respect the relationship. And that's what you're aiming for. And it becomes more serious, and it makes him take you more seriously as well. It makes him respect you more, treat you better, because now, it's like an official title. So, there's my reasons why you should never, ever, ever, ever call a guy your boyfriend. Alright then, take care and have a very good week. I hope you're all enjoying the summer. Bye.